We're back to Total Education Celebrity Show on the Total Education Network, TotalTutor.net for more information. Twitter, Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, and I'm really honored to welcome the program. I guess, as you can hear from the background, he's in Los Angeles, California, but he's a Grammy Award winner, musician Daniel Ho. Daniel, thanks for calling.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you for having me on your program, and I apologize for the plane passing overhead.
Hey, I'm used to that stuff. Don't worry. It's better. At least you're not hearing a plane passing over my studio, or we'd have some problems. All right, so maybe you can hear some birds chirping in the background because I wanted to get some fresh air today because it's not such a hot day. Like it was like 90 in Pittsburgh a couple days ago, down at 52 degrees, and I have a sweatshirt on. I just can't believe the difference, Daniel. So basically, tell our audience first of all your background, and then we're going to go into how your career started as a musician.
I was born and raised in Honolulu, Hawaii, and I moved to Los Angeles when I was 18 years old, right after high school, to attend the Grove School of Music, and I majored in composing, arranging, and film scoring. And I dabble around with instruments. I play the rhythm section instruments, bass and piano, guitar, ukulele, and sing a little bit. And I've been working in the music business for over 20 years, and that's about it. Well, I do my own audio engineering as well, like mixing and mastering and stuff like that.
So you're a jack of all trades, then, Daniel, right?
Yes, that's what they say, master of none.
All right, well, hey, anyone that's a Grammy, forget about it. You're a master of something. So, Daniel, tell us your background, how you decided to become involved in music. Was it just a basic situation where your family was involved in it, or how did it work?
Well, my dad loved music. He's a chemist at Pearl Harbor. And my brother is an electrical engineer. My mom passed away when I was about 5 years old. But she taught me how to play those little red toy pianos that Trotter plays in Peanuts. And I learned Mary Had a Little Lamb. That was my first introduction to musical instruments. And my dad noticed that I took a liking to it and sent me to all kinds of music lessons, starting with the organ in second grade, and then ukulele is what all kids play in Hawaii, or most kids do. I picked it up in the third grade, and then moved on to classical guitar in the fourth grade, and piano in the fifth grade, and drums in seventh grade, and bass, and just kind of, I never stuck to any one instrument, and so I guess that's why I became a composer or writer, because it was a way to utilize my knowledge with the different instruments and put the pieces together, so to speak.
Interesting. Okay. So when did you figure out you have to be kind of a different part of music? What age did you figure that out?
I knew it from when I was in grade school, believe it or not. I never had an interest in doing anything else. I had a couple of fallback plans, career thoughts, but it was something that I was determined to do, and I was going to give it a go. And, when I moved to LA, I told myself, look, when the money runs out and I really can't make this work, then I'm going to move back to Hawaii. And I'm still here, so thank God.
Yeah, well, and that's what lots of people say when they make their journey to LA. Isn't that right, Daniel?
LA is that kind of place. We all come here and we give it a shot, or New York or Nashville, or, entertainment business, and we do our best, and I think perseverance is just a huge part of it. I was, I guess you could say I was, kind of depressed for a couple of years, just, living in not so wonderful conditions, renting a room, sleeping on the floor in a rat-infested house, with the toilet overflowing every month. I had 5 roommates, and there were only 4 rooms. Someone was living in the living room as well, and that went on for a year. And it wasn't what I was used to, but it makes you tougher, and it's something that most of us have to go through in the music industry. There's no clear path from point A to point B. You don't graduate with a degree and end up with the career. So, yeah, you kind of feel your way around, and, I think being versatile is useful because I've had to do all kinds of jobs, from copying music to orchestrating for B films to playing keyboards in Steve Bryson's band, and, you name it. You just kind of make ends meet and pay the bills, and with all of those, music lessons.
Right.
And, pick up a little bit of knowledge, and that will help you, achieve whatever your goal might be in music.
Okay, so Daniel, basically you're telling me you're kind of starving in L.A. When was your big break? When did you know? What happened? Did you have a great connection, or did you just keep persevering to finally one of those doors opened?
I got fortunate early on. My first break came when I was about my early 20s, maybe 22 or 23. I got signed to a record deal in contemporary jazz. It's what smooth jazz is now. It was the style of music that I think Dave Grusin and David Sanborn and people like that pioneered back in the early. Well, actually, they started it in the 80s or maybe even the late 70s. I think probably the 80s. But it was very popular in the early 90s. There was a record label called GRP, and I wasn't on that label, but I had a band called Kilauea. Kilauea is one of, I think it's the active volcano in Hawaii. I was going to say one of two, but I think it's the only active volcano in Hawaii. And we did instrumental contemporary jazz, and I played piano, and I wrote, and I led the group. And I think that was my first break. And I started a publishing company with the material I wrote, and it was used a lot in background music, elevators and airports and things like that. And that kind of got me on my way. And around the mid-'90s, I decided to go independent and started a record label. And that was a struggle. We were selling like almost nothing in the beginning because it's not really a record label when you have only one record.
Right.
The name of that's called a vanity press. I started out that way, and that's what I've been doing since the mid-'90s, and I, done over 100 CDs now.
Definitely, Daniel. And so you're kind of going through the motions, getting experience. Tell us about when you were nominated for a Grammy. What happened? Give us the story.
That was, I'm going to guess, around 8 years ago, and I received a very unusually large order from my distributor in Hawaii. And it didn't make any sense to me. I thought maybe they added a zero by accident. And they said congratulations at the bottom of the fax. And that was, people still fax back then. So I called them and asked them, what is this congratulations about? And they said, well, you're nominated for a Grammy. Like, what? It came as a huge surprise because I'm an independent musician. I have a small label that my wife and I run. We, work out of our home, and it's just not something that you would expect as an independent musician. Usually you think, okay, people on major labels like Warner Brothers and so on, Sony would, win Grammys and stuff like that. And not anything I ever dreamed of attaining. It was never a goal, never, within my reach.
Okay, so I'm correct. You did win, right? You've won a few, right? Am I on the right track on that?
Yeah, well, then I won 6 in a row every year.
Yeah.
In that time.
So, wow. 6 in a row. Wow. So just tell us the first Grammy experience once you got your name called. That must have been awesome.
Yeah, well, it was probably the high point, the very first one of my career. It was surreal, unbelievable, and just something I'm always grateful for because it, I guess, it's just something, it's a very short bio, I guess is a good way to describe it. And it has certainly helped take my career in a different direction, in a very positive direction since then. And, I'm also grateful for all the others as well, because it sort of establishes a trend of consistency, and that, we're working hard to improve every year and learn more, practice more, be a better audio engineer and composer and player and all those things. So it's motivating.
Well, it sounds like it's motivating, and it took your career off, didn't it? Once you won that, it's helped with getting a lot of work, right?
Yes, it has. A lot of them were for produced as a producer. So I started getting a lot of requests to produce albums, produce this album, that album, and other artists and things. And so, as a musician, you take the work as it comes, and you just keep going with the flow, I guess. I don't know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So I ended up taking all these jobs, and I was doing about 9 records a year for about 5 years, and it was way too much for me to do, because I'm doing every aspect of it, from playing the instruments to, doing the photography, graphic design, my wife and I do, and, mixing and mastering and all kinds of things, and it got to be way too much work. So a few years ago, I was fortunate enough to take a different direction. Now I focus primarily on just my original music and things that I want to do, books I want to write, and things like that. And so it's been very nice to get back to being an artist.
Exactly. So you accomplish everything in one area, so you want to go to another area and be successful in that area.
Yeah. The drummer I've been playing with for 20 years, Randy Drake, he's getting his PhD in ethnomusicology right now. He graduated from North Texas State many years ago with a degree in drum, and he explained to me, and it made perfect sense, like a light bulb went off. He said, it takes a lifetime to master an instrument, but it also takes a lifetime to understand the music behind what you're playing. So what he did was he started off he's a virtuoso drummer, he's a musician and everything, and a wonderful person, but now he's going back and learning about music. What is he playing, the kinds of rhythms he's playing, learning how to arrange for all different genres and world music and so on. And I think I did the opposite. I spent all my time learning about how to put music together. I didn't spend the 10,000 hours I needed to on my piano or guitar or ukulele or voice. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay, so Daniel, what current projects are you promoting right now?
What am I promoting right now?
Yes.
I have a number of different things that I'm doing. Let me see. Well, I'm kind of going out and touring my new vocal CD, This Dream Begins. I also have another CD that was nominated this year in the world music category called On a Gentle Island Breeze, which is primarily an ukulele CD that I did with actually Taiwanese Aboriginal musicians. There's some ancient vocal songs on there. And I have a series of instructional books and DVDs that I filmed that were authored by Alfred Leiters that I just filmed recently that's going to come out. And Alfred Ukulele Tack that's also going to come out with my DVD, ukulele instructional DVD and books. And what else?
A bunch of different things. So you have to go to your website to find out all that info. And where's that website?
DanielHo.com.
Well, Daniel, it was a pleasure talking to you. Really enjoyed the conversation. I know many Hawaiians that have relocated to L.A. It must be some, I have no idea the reasoning. But I guess because you have the most beautiful land, but I guess you don't have all the glitz and glamour that L.A. provides for you. So to make it. So best of luck to you, and good luck.
Thank you so much, Neil.
All right, take care, Daniel. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You're listening to Total Education Celebrity Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.